Good morning, ladies. Good morning. Hang on. Okay, hang on. Yeah, we're getting it worked out. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Today in LA. I'm Forrest Lee, and on the phone we have Mike Amos that's calling in from his home on Crow Hill, and it's a beautiful morning.
I'm back.
Good morning, Mike.
And that's good news on my behalf. I am back, and hopefully I can stay back.
Well, it was good to see you yesterday, and we're proud that you're doing better.
Of course, I appreciate all the work that you've done for us, and I think everybody else is very pleased with what's been going on our show, and I've heard good comments, and that's all I need to know.
Well, I appreciate it. Well, we're fortunate to have Troy Cable here in Troy, Alabama, in this studio. Channel 52 is what it used to be called, but it's TC2, and we're located on South Brundage Street. But I want to give thanks to Steve Kemp. He's the program manager, and he's the studio manager and head cook. But anyway, yes, I'm just tickled to be here myself. I've got a little bit of ham in me, but I'm just thankful to fill in for you, Mr. Mike. And we got a call coming in. Let's see if I can work this phone out. I'm going to put you on hold. Well, I lost one of you. Hang on. Okay.
Great sponsors.
Do I have both of you?
Beverage.
Michael.
Hey, this is Bill. Is Mike Amos on the phone?
Yeah, Mike Amos and Bill. Excuse me. Hey, good morning. We have Bill Rice calling, and Mr. Mike Amos is on the phone. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to just call in to help out until Mike's got on there, but since Mike's here, I'm going to step off to let little Michael call in.
Well, is Michael calling in right now?
He will be shortly. How you doing, Mike?
Doing great. Of course, it's not easy. That was not an easy operation, and I'm not telling you I haven't suffered. At the same time, I feel good, and I've gone through the hard knocks, and looks like if the Lord's willing, and the creek that
Creek don't rise.
I hope that I hope that I'll be here from here on. And of course, we look forward to it. Appreciate what you and Bill, what you and Forrest have done, and with Michael from outside of the perimeter, and I can say a lot of where I've been and what I've done, but right now things are going good, and I feel good, and I hope to be here for a while.
Well, hot dog. We're so glad to hear it. Everybody was thinking about you and praying for you, and hopefully the worst is behind you now.
Yeah. Well, I'm not the prettiest thing in the world, but I can wear a hat.
Yeah, you remember me back in the first COVID lockdown when I couldn't get a haircut. I wore a hat every show.
Yeah, exactly. And I might have to do that eventually, but I'm not going to be on for long today. I just wanted to touch base and sort of let everybody know that I appreciate your thoughts and your prayers, and I felt your strength. And,
Well, I've got a call coming in.
I'm going to step off and let Michael get on. Y'all have a good show. I'll call in tomorrow.
All right, Bill. Thank you for calling.
All right.
All right. Got another call coming in.
That's right. Okay.
All right, let's see. Hold. It went off. Well, hang on just a minute. We'll try it again. We lost Michael. I guess he'll call back in just a minute. But
Hi, Sandy. I'm right here. Come on in.
Buddy, I'm right here. Oh, Miss Mary, I'm right here. I'm right here.
Since 1969, we've been right here because at Troy Regional Medical Center, we take these words to heart.
I'm right here. Thank you.
Remarkable people, remarkable care.
Trojan Auto Parts of Troy, home of Napa Know-How. Stop by and see owners Mike and Melissa Kilcrease and their Napa Know-How team with over 100 years of combined experience. We're the only locally owned parts store in Pike County, and we're fully stocked and ready to serve you. We pride ourselves on being your go-to parts store, not only for the simple items, but we specialize in those hard-to-find items as well. Trojan Auto Parts, the right part at the right price at the right time. Napa, a name you've trusted here in Troy since 1945.
At the Piggly Wiggly, we proudly support our local farmers and bring you the best they have to offer, all at cost plus 10%. When you shop local, you reinvest in your community. Remember, buy local, shop local. Piggly Wiggly, local since forever.
Our history is woven with the stories of those we serve. At Max, we've been a good community partner for 65 years. Max is dedicated to providing dependable financial services and to supporting our communities. We volunteer our time and share our resources. As a credit union, we've returned millions of dollars back to our members, local nonprofits, and small businesses. Max is honored to be a part of your story. We look forward to serving you for years to come.
ladies and gentlemen, we're back live here on Today in LA, and on the phone we have Michael calling in from Grayton Beach, and we have Mike Amos from Crow Hill calling in. Welcome, guys.
Morning. Crow Hill, Alabama. I don't know if we still got that or not. Christmas to you.
Yeah.
I'm just enjoying Christmas after going through that surgery, but I'm back live and well. We have that?
Yes, we do. Yes.
I hope that you get me, but at the same time you haven't missed any sleep.
Right.
But I do appreciate everybody, and it means a lot to me.
Yeah. Well, Mike, I can hear you, and the people out there can hear both of you, but y'all cannot hear each other. Mike, can you hear Michael? I guess.
Yeah, I can't hear it. No, I can't.
No. But anyway, y'all both are still live with me. And
we'll work.
Have you seen an increase in your insurance premiums or significant change in your insurance coverage? Let Sandbeck Insurance offer you a better plan to suit your business or personal needs. Sandbeck Insurance offers many lines of insurance, whether it's home, farm, or auto insurance, work comp, business, or health and life policies. Sandbeck is here for you. Call or visit our Troy, Enterprise, or Andalusia office today. Sandbeck Insurance, where we take pride in taking care of your insurance needs.
At the Piggly Wiggly, we proudly support our local farmers and bring you the best they have to offer, all at cost plus 10%. When you shop local, you reinvest in your community. Remember, buy local, shop local. Piggly Wiggly, local since forever.
A personal touch, a high level of trust. Whether it's checking and savings accounts, personal or business loans, or our local friendly service. That's what Troy Bank and Trust customers expect. But now we offer more. Free identity theft protection for our new and existing customers, protecting your family's time, money, and good name from identity theft. Because protecting your identity is now a big part of our identity.
Troy Cable Security Wi-Fi doorbell camera allows you to answer the door from your smartphone when you are at home, at work, or on the go. When a visitor presses the button, Troy Cable Security sends a live video feed to your smartphone so you can see, hear, and speak to the person at your door. With the doorbell camera, you can have your porch light turn on automatically when it detects motion at night to create the appearance that someone is at home. You can view video clips so you can always know who stopped by when you are out. Troy Cable Security. You love them, protect them.
Have you seen an increase in your insurance premiums or significant change in your insurance coverage? Let Sandbeck Insurance offer you a better plan to suit your business or personal needs. Sandbeck Insurance offers many lines of insurance, whether it's home, farm, or auto insurance, work comp, business, or health and life policies. Sandbeck is here for you. Call or visit our Troy, Enterprise, or Andalusia office today. Sandbeck Insurance, where we take pride in taking care of your insurance needs.
At the Piggly Wiggly, we proudly support our local farmers and bring you the best they have to offer, all at cost plus 10%. When you shop local, you reinvest in your community. Remember, buy local, shop local. Piggly Wiggly, local since forever.
A personal touch, a high level of trust. Whether it's checking and savings accounts, personal or business loans, or our local friendly service. That's what Troy Bank and Trust customers expect. But now we offer more. Free identity theft protection for our new and existing customers, protecting your family's time, money, and good name from identity theft. Because protecting your identity is now a big part of our identity.
Troy Cable Security Wi-Fi doorbell camera allows you to answer the door from your smartphone when you are at home, at work, or on the go. When a visitor presses the button, Troy Cable Security sends a live video feed to your smartphone so you can see, hear, and speak to the person at your door. With the doorbell camera, you can have your porch light turn on automatically when it detects motion at night to create the appearance that someone is at home. You can view video clips so you can always know who stopped by when you are out. Troy Cable Security. You love them, protect them.
Right there. Ladies and gentlemen, we're back on Today in LA. I'm Forrest Lee, and on the phone with me we have Mike Amos calling from Crow Hill. We've had a few technical difficulties, so bear with us. And good morning again, Mike. I'm glad you're doing well, and say hello to Miss Carol for us.
Well, I tell you what, let me tell you, you can exaggerate sometimes about how good somebody is to you, while you're sick. My wife has been just wonderful, and she's been there when I need her, and she's really, really, really swell, and I appreciate it so much.
Just like that song goes.
Bill Jackson Chevrolet, one of our sponsors, we appreciate them.
Yes, sir. And, of course, Premier Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Troy, Alabama, located on 113 US 231 Highway. And, of course, Troy Bank and Trust, the only bank you'll ever need, has about 12 or 13 locations. And just a plethora. And yesterday after the show, I went to Bird's Drugs and had to get a taste of that good bacon they have out there and some sliced tomatoes and toast. And
want to mention the Withington Agency, and of course, you're in good hands with our state, Terry Green of the Withington Agency, and we appreciate all of our sponsors. They've been with me for a long time, and they're very, very loyal, and I appreciate it very much. Very loyal.
Yeah.
Mike,
I called I called Troy City Schools yesterday, and they did play their basketball game against Andalusia, and I did not get a score. All right, we've got a caller. I'm going to put you on hold. All right, let's try it. I lost one of them when I tried to put them on conference. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Today in LA. Can y'all hear each other?
Yeah, I hear you.
Can you?
Hey, man, how you doing? It's my old man, Colin. Here from Crow Hill, Alabama.
I thought you were supposed to be sleeping, man. I thought you were supposed to take some time off.
Well, I've been doing it back, but I'm just gonna be here for a while.
Stayed up last night and watched Alabama make 23 3-pointers in a basketball game. SEC record.
Amazing.
Yep.
SEC record last night. They beat up LSU 105-75 in Baton Rouge. Alabama's not.
I know. That's what I was wondering.
The conference.
I was wondering where they played that game. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah. They play Mississippi State this Saturday. I believe they host Mississippi State at 5 o'clock. But, I mean, it's great for Alabama to be doing so well in basketball as well.
Yeah, it might be the best team they've had since the Wentz Sanderson '87 team that won, I think, won 28 games. This team is really, I mean, they're not just beating people; they're blowing everybody out. This is coming off beating Kentucky by 20. They beat Arkansas by 31, and now they beat LSU by 30.
Golly, boy, I tell you, what's the difference, Mike?
Well, they've got so many guys that can shoot. You know, they got Shackford, John Petty. John Petty made 8 3-pointers last night. Then they got Quinterly
better than ever played for them.
Yeah, then they got Quinterly kid. Yeah, the Quinterly kid from Villanova transfer has been lights out when he's been able to play. Then they got a guy named Primo out of Canada that can really shoot the three. So they just got more shooters than they've ever had. And of course, they play that really up and down, fast-paced offense, and really guards you on defense. They're just fun to watch.
You know, probably another aspect of it when you're playing away, like Kentucky, Rupp Arena, they don't have the crowd and the intimidation factor like they normally would. But still, let's give Alabama credit for going in there and beating Kentucky, and hope it continues against Mississippi State this Saturday. And
I don't know if Forrest mentioned it, but the great Don Sutton from Clio died yesterday.
We mentioned a little bit, we hadn't gone into detail, but he, was a native of Clio, Alabama, and Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Had over 300 wins.
Yeah. Let me tell you this. His uncle just died not more than 2 weeks ago, and he was one of the best people I know, and it's a wonderful guy. And then Don died this week, and what a great Hall of Fame pitcher he was, and so forth. And then his brother's wife died. Rod's wife died
from COVID-19.
And that family has had so many heartbreaks in the just recent days, and my prayers and my thoughts and go out to all of those people. They're great people too, and may the Lord give them strength.
Hey, a couple of things that I looked up on Don Sutton that's kind of interesting. He played 23 years, mostly with the Dodgers. He played with the Angels, the Brewers, the Astros, and Athletics. But he holds the major league record for pitching 20 innings for at least 20 years. So 20 years he pitched 200 innings or more in 20 seasons. He's the third time he's third on the list behind Cy Young and Nolan Ryan for most starts of all time. And he was born in Clio, but they moved to Pensacola. Graduated at Tate High School. He wanted to go to the University of Florida and play baseball, but they weren't interested in him. He played at Gulf Coast Community College in Panama City, then Whittier College. Then he signed with the Dodgers after having a good summer league. But one of the notes that I saw, his parents were sharecroppers when he was born. His dad was 18 years old. His mother was 15 when he was born. But Don Sutton.
Yeah, the amazing thing about it, I think he won 323 games, but he lost 256. So, like you were mentioning, how many starts he had is incredible.
Right, he had 756 starts, and
he some more of those stuff. That's interesting.
Yeah, all right. The four staff, the rotation of that staff in his heyday: Sandy Koufax, Don Drysdale, Claude Alsteen, and Don Sutton for the Dodgers.
That's right.
And I read one time he got in a scrap with Steve Garvey.
Did he really?
Yeah, he was.
He looked like a linebacker, you know.
But there was some, but I didn't go much into that article. But yeah, I can remember his curly hair sticking out of his baseball cap what little bit I remember of him.
I thought he was a really good broadcaster for the Braves. I enjoyed him on television and radio. He's great calling ball games.
Well, he's a Hall of Fame. I mean, he's a member of the Dodger Hall of Fame for wearing number 20. He wore number 20, and he's a member of the Atlanta Braves Hall of Fame as an announcer for over 25 years, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure his son, Darren's son, played at AUM, and I think there was a relationship. I think QV Lowe and Don played together at Gulf Coast. You're exactly right, Mike.
Yeah,
Good memory.
Yeah, and he married Ginger Sprague, QV Lowe did, who was the volleyball coach at Troy University. And when you mentioned University, Auburn, AUM, there's a graduate, Rusty Baines, who will be a line judge in the Super Bowl this year. He played at Tallahassee High School, and he's but he's umpired several championship baseball games here in Alabama. But a native of Tallahassee, Alabama, Rusty Baines, graduate of AUM, played at AUM, will be a Super Bowl official, along with the first female, Sarah Thomas, who played at the University of Mobile. And she's from Pascagoula, Mississippi. So that's a little connection with AUM that you mentioned with the Suttons just a few minutes ago.
Let me tell you a little bit about that. Ronnie Baines was an NFL official for a long time, his daddy. And evidently his daddy molded him into an NFL official because he's a fairly young guy, and of course he's the son of Ronnie Baines, who is a long-time former Auburn tight end and a long-time official. One thing back to one of the great players of all time, in baseball, and what a wonderful family he had. Don Sutton's brother Ron lives here in Troy. Great guy. I mean, I'm talking about a great guy. Huge Troy University baseball fan. Huge. And was again, he's lost his brother and his uncle and his wife just within the last month or so. And our hearts and our prayers go out to Ron Sutton this morning.
Yes.
Yeah, we also want to, mention the Spare family. We're still praying for Mickey and Mary Lee and Bobby and Michael and Neil and Curry. Please continue prayers for the Sheriff family. They mean a lot to me.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something about Cheryl. And I've been awfully quiet because I've been, I just had a surgery not too long ago. But during that time, we lost Cheryl. Cheryl Bashir was one of the most impressive women I know. And she ran that doctor's office like nobody could ever run it. She was the leader of her family, not only her family, but her sisters. She was the leader, no question about it. And she had so many great qualities that will never be seen again. From a lady who did everything so well. She was active in a lot of things, and she did them well. And she was a wonderful person, wonderful Christian person. She loved her Lord, and she's with her Lord today. There's no question about it, about her faith in God. And that's what you got to have in these tough times. If you don't have faith in God, you don't have anything. So you've got to get God in your life, or you're going to be lost. And I can say that because I feel that way myself. I've got to do things better in my life, to please God.
Well,
now we're glad you called in. Max Hall will be calling in the next 5 minutes, probably. Of course, a lot going on in football. The Tennessee job is open. So they've got a mess that's going to be the new head coach there. Yeah, they've got a mess. Looks like a lot of probation possibilities, and don't know if you can really hire a really great coach right now because, you've got to find a new athletic director as well. So Kevin Steele has been hired, and he is the interim coach after being the interim coach at Auburn. So kind of a situation where Kevin Steele might be the guy until they can find somebody. Michael Ansley was one of the ones. Derek Ansley.
Mm-hmm.
Derek Ansley. My fault. Derek Ansley. I think he lost his job.
No, he still has his. He was not one of the he was not one of the 9 that were fired, but other possibilities are to hire Tom Herman, who used to coach at Texas, Bill O'Brien. Has that been finalized at Alabama yet? Is him coming to Alabama, Bill O'Brien? But
I still haven't seen it. I still haven't seen it finalized.
Yeah. Well, Tony Elliott's name has come up. Jamie Chadwell at Coastal Carolina. Hugh Freeze's name has come up. Gus Malzahn, Bill Napier. So they're looking for the athletic director. They want to fill that slot first. And my guess they'll have him hired. Yeah, he resigned, and he thought it would be best, according to the report I saw, that he thought this would be. He wanted to do it. Yeah, he's resigned, but they're making it clear that he's not part of the investigation, according to the chancellor. But he thought it's best to resign so the new AD can help get the right guy without any qualms or whatever. So they're in a.
It still says Bill O'Brien. He doesn't get any. The coach doesn't get any payout on this.
Well, his lawyer, they're fighting it, and their stance is they're doing this to deny him his financial obligation. They're trying to get out of the financial obligations that they have with him if they were going to fire him. $12 million is a lot of money. Yeah, that's what his lawyer's saying. They're doing it to save money.
They owe him $12 million. Is that right?
Right.
That's right. Oh boy, that's nothing. But listen, let me let you go, guys. I've had a good time this morning. It's good to be back to the show, and I hope to be coming on periodically next few weeks. And looking forward to being on the show and talking to my friends and neighbors. And again, I'm alive and well, and I'm looking forward to being with you in the future.
All right, thank you, Mike. Have a good day. Say hello to Miss Carol. All right, well, Michael, let me ask you this question: have they finalized? I hear
Bill O'Brien is still not finalized from what I'm seeing.
Yeah. What about Doug?
Which makes you wonder: is he holding out?
He could be. And it's like, is it the agent? If this agent, the agents and his agency for all these coaches, they've got all the cards on the table, and they're going to get this jack of all trades this job. Well, this one still may come open. Let's hold out because you may get a promotion or a higher pay by going over here. I don't know if that's the case or not. But on the other end of the spectrum, Doug Marrone,
Jaguars coach.
Yeah, offensive line may come in at Alabama as the offensive line coach. When you Google him, it says he is the offensive line coach at Alabama. But he is 6'5", 275 from Bronx, New York. He played at Syracuse, and he's been the head coach for Syracuse, the Buffalo Bills, and the Jacksonville Jaguars. So he's got NFL coaching experience, along with he's coached at Cortland State, the Coast Guard, Northeastern. He coached
the Coast Guard?
Yeah, that's what it says. And he coached at Georgia Tech with, the guy we're waiting on to see if he's going to be hired.
Bill O'Brien.
Bill O'Brien. They coached together at Georgia Tech. He's also coached.
They coached under Gailey, didn't they?
Evidently they did. Marone has also coached at Georgia and Tennessee, the New York Jets, the New Orleans Saints. Of course, at Syracuse, when he was the head coach there, he was 25-25 overall. For the Buffalo Bills, he was 15-17 as their head coach overall. Then he was an assistant with the Jacksonville Jaguars, served as the interim coach for a couple of games. Then his record at Jacksonville was 23-43. So, Alabama's still got some shoes to fill, and of course,
you would have to pay O'Brien as offense coordinator probably $2 million. You probably have to pay Marone, after being an NFL head coach, at least $1 million to be offensive line coach.
We got a caller.
Okay.
All right, let's see if we can do this. Bill Matthews. Okay. All right, let's go here. I'm going to put you on hold. Then I can, if they're both blinking, I can now go to conference. Let's try this. We lost one. Well, I get Bill hung up before I could get to him. But anyway, we're back, and we were talking about Alabama football. Of course, Troy University, they have some slots to fill, and I don't know where they're going on that just yet.
Yeah, I haven't seen any announcements. Ryan Pugh, of course, left to take the Baylor job. He was offensive coordinator at Troy and was hired to be the offensive line coach at Baylor, which is a big pay raise, and of course some off the field background check issues. I mean, that's been actually made public now by Ryan Pugh. He said he made a mistake in high school, and apparently that mistake has come back to haunt him. But don't know what's going to happen with Troy offensive line position. Troy needs a receivers coach because Cornelius Williams is now left for Auburn, but you can't blame him for that. So you're seeing a bunch of these coaches leave Troy's staff. Of course, you can't blame them. They're going for bigger jobs.
Right.
Don't know what's going to happen moving forward. I guess Gulf Shores High School, if any,
all right, let's try it again.
The Division I job comes up, and they can get that staff to come coach.
Okay, I believe we have Max coming on. Let's try this again. We're going to put you on hold. I didn't even touch it, Steve, and it knocked off. Well, we're back live with Michael, and we've lost one of our callers. The next time he calls, we're going to go on a commercial break, but let's go ahead and finish this up. We want to apologize for some phone issues we're having, and it could be operator error. But
I'm glad Dad called in. He called in a little earlier than I think Carol Amos would have hoped.
Yeah.
But I was happy to hear him. He seemed like his memory's still pretty decent.
Yeah. Yeah, I stopped by just for a few minutes yesterday and brought him lunch, and he was very spry and sounded real good. And some other news.
I think they're so happy to get out of UAB hospital they didn't know what to do.
Oh, yeah.
It was like almost like running out of a prison. It was pretty scary.
I can imagine. I read where Tiger Woods has had his 5th back surgery to remove a pressurized disc fragment in his back, and they expect him to have a full recovery, and he's 45 years old. And, with the Masters coming up, will he be ready for the Masters? That's the big question. So
yeah, I read that too, but I think it's not a major surgery, thank goodness for Tiger. But Tiger's trying to break Sam Snead's record. He's got one more. He's tied with most wins on the tour. And I think, let's be realistic from here on out. If he wins another major, that would be incredible. It's already incredible he won one.
Right.
But if he can just win one more tournament, he'll have an all-time record as far as wins on the tour. And I think that will happen. I think he's just got too much talent that he'll find a way to win one more PGA tournament.
Right. And he was I think he was complaining of it a little bit after he played with his son in that little father-son tournament that he was involved in. I saw where Matt Jones has accepted the invitation to the Senior Bowl, and whether or not all these guys are going to get to play, I'm not sure. But the Senior Bowl is coming up, and some of the guys that are going, are not going to be able to play, like the big offensive center for Alabama, Dickerson. But the practices will be closed. You cannot find a ticket on StubHub right now to the game. I guess they're going to limit it to about 5,500 people who have bought tickets. And but
I'm sure friends and family will be able to attend. I mean, Dickerson and Devontae Smith, I would think, are just going down there for interviews. Both of them are injured. You get to see how practices are run. You get to talk to the player personnel directors. You get to talk to the owners, the head coaches, do their height and weight and all that as well. And it's going to be interesting to see. I would imagine a few of them guys will play in it, but I don't imagine the guys that are hurt will play.
No, and that's going to be Saturday, January the 30th, and it's going to be on the National Football League Network. I think kickoff is scheduled at 1:30, and they've got different kind of rules that they go by when they play.
Dad used to go down there for years with Bud Casey. Bud Casey, Dad would go watch practice and go around there and meet everybody, and had big parties. I actually was down there for some parties one time. It's a lot of fun.
Have you seen an increase in your insurance premiums or significant change in your insurance coverage? Let Sandbeck Insurance offer you a better plan to suit your business or personal needs. Sandbeck Insurance offers many lines of insurance, whether it's home, farm, or auto insurance, work comp, business, or health and life policies. Sandbeck is here for you. Call or visit our Troy, Enterprise, or Andalusia office today. Sandbeck Insurance, where we take pride in taking care of your insurance needs.
At the Piggly Wiggly, we proudly support our local farmers and bring you the best they have to offer, all at cost plus 10%. When you shop local, you reinvest in your community. Remember, buy local, shop local. Piggly Wiggly, local since forever.
A personal touch, a high level of trust. Whether it's checking and savings accounts, personal or business loans, or our local friendly service. That's what Troy Bank and Trust customers expect. But now we offer more. Free identity theft protection for our new and existing customers, protecting your family's time, money, and good name from identity theft. Because protecting your identity is now a big part of our identity.
Hey!
We're back live on Today in L.A. and phone difficulties with the operator here, and we're expecting a call from Coach Max Howell. Be calling in from Mississippi here in a few minutes, and we've been talking with Mike Amos, who's recovering from his surgery that he had recently, and a lot of prayers and for those people out there struggling with different issues in our community, and of course it's Inauguration Day in our capital. With President Joe Biden being sworn in as our 46th president, I believe. But what you got on tap today, Michael? Are you with me? Mike? No, he's not. Good morning. Welcome to Today in L.A. This is Forrest Lee. Who do I have?
Will Matthews. How you doing?
Hey, Will. Thank you for calling. How you doing today?
I'm doing good.
Well,
How's Mike doing?
Mike is recovering. He is at home, and he called in for a few minutes this morning. And we have another caller. Hang on. Good morning. You're on Today in L.A. Good morning. He went off. We're back with you, Will. We're experiencing some phone difficulties, so can you hear me okay?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Mike called in earlier this morning and is doing well, and he's resting comfortably. He has a great nurse and Miss Carol, but he was up just a few minutes ago if you want to give him a buzz.
I'm gonna go see him today. I've got to do court for Matt Baker and Troy this afternoon, so I think I'm gonna go by and see him. I might bring him lunch or something.
Okay. Well, what else is going on in?
I'll call him later on. In the morning.
Okay. What's going on in your world?
Well, this is my son's last day working for the White House.
Yes, sir.
He's going out in
Yes, sir.
And he's applying for jobs, and it's kind of scary, but I think he'll be able to come up with something, I hope.
Yes, sir. Yeah. But, well, I saw we're talking. Well, hold on. We got a caller. Good morning. You're on Today in L.A.
Hey, morning. Sorry I lost you guys.
I'm sorry I lost you. All right, let me put you on hold, and I'll come back with you on a conference. Good morning. Do I have both of you?
Yeah, man.
Oh, good. Great. Michael, welcome back to Today in L.A. We have Mr. Will Matthews calling in, and we have Michael Amos calling in as well. Go ahead. Can y'all hear?
Michael, how about our basketball team? How good was that last night?
You with us, Michael? Well, it's showing that he's on, but we're having phone difficulties. But we talked about that earlier, and it's just incredible how Alabama is just rolling with the basketball as well. And
I'm going to the game Saturday night. I've got tickets for the Mississippi State game in Tuscaloosa, so it'll be my first.
Well, that'll be great.
Game in a long time.
Well,
I'm looking forward to it.
Yes, sir. Let's see. Well, I just lost Michael again, but anyway, I'm gonna put you on hold. We're back with you, Will. I keep losing Michael for some reason when I put you on hold, and but anyway, I can see him on Zoom. But anyway, Mississippi State's record is what? They're about 500, I believe. And what time will that tip-off be on Saturday?
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock.
Yeah.
Good. With the
it'll be a good game, I think.
Right. Now we've talked a little bit about Tennessee football and the scrambled eggs that are going on up there, and we're looking to see what Alabama's going to do with their coaching staff, and we know Troy University has some slots to fill as well. And have you ever met Mr. Don Sutton? You know, he passed away, and I was just wondering.
You know, I did. I've met him 2 or 3 times, and he is the second most famous person from Clio, Alabama.
And the first one would be who? George Wallace. George Wallace.
Yep.
And George Wallace, his roommate in college was Ralph Adams, I believe. I've heard that story before. All right, I'm going to put you on hold. Hang on, Bill.
Yeah.
Good morning. You're on Today in L.A.
Morning.
All right, now, I'm putting you on hold. I'm going to put you on hold. Bill Matthews is on hold. I'm putting you on hold. Hello, can you both hear me?
I hear you now.
Thank you.
Yeah, hey, Michael.
Good morning.
Hey, Will, I was listening a little bit to your son's last day is today. I read that on Facebook, or was that yesterday?
Right, yeah. No, today he goes out at noon with Trump.
So what, I guess his plan is to stay in Washington?
Well, he's got 2 job interviews Friday, and he's got one that may bring him to Alabama, which would be great if he got that job.
Okay. Of course, he's got 3 little children now. He's been alive.
Oh yeah.
In Washington.
You know, the pressure is unbelievable on him because he's got a 2-year-old, a 1-year-old, and a 2-month-old.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
And he's basically unemployed.
Where was his wife from?
Pittsburgh. He met her during the campaign.
When he was
when he was running the campaign in Pennsylvania, he met her, and then they wound up getting married the year Trump took office in November. They got married.
Of course, we were mentioning earlier, Tiger Woods has got a back injury again. It's going to miss maybe 3-4 tournaments. You think he'll be back for the Masters?
you know, I don't know how bad it was, but that's like his 4th back surgery, so that can't be good.
It says it was his 5th.
He tied with Sam Snead for all-time records as far as wins on the PGA Tour. I mean, I would hope he'd be able to get back healthy enough to at least have the all-time wins record. You would think he'd win one more time just on the regular tour, wouldn't you?
I don't know, Michael. I couldn't believe he won the Masters last year. That was a miracle.
Hey, we got some breaking news. Steve just told us that Phillip Rivers is retiring from football. And he's got like 7 or 8 kids. And he's from
9 kids.
9.
He actually owns a house. Actually owns a house on 38 down here near me. Well, in Graydon. People see him at restaurants down here. He's already been offered a job at a Catholic school somewhere around the Mobile, Fairhope area somewhere, I believe. He's already got a high school job waiting for him.
Right. He played at North Carolina State, I believe, didn't he?
He did. He did. And Alabama and Auburn, neither one of them offered him a scholarship.
He played in Decatur. His dad was the head coach there growing up, and then his dad got the head job at Athens High School. And, he's a kid that, his dad was a football coach, and he wanted to get into coaching, just coach his sons, and that's what he's going to do. Good for him. Now it looks like the Colts will probably make a run at Carson Wentz, even though Wentz has had a horrible year. Because Frank Wright, the coach of the Colts, used to coach Wentz with the Eagles, so that might be who they go after as the quarterback. Considering Jalen Hurts, a lot of people think he's now the quarterback for the Eagles. So
what about Deshaun?
See what happens there.
What about Deshaun Watson? Where is he going to end up? There's about 25 or 30 teams after him.
I think he's going to end up with the Jets. I would think the Jets. He might want to be up in New York and play for the new coach up there. Of course, it's a possibility they say the blockbuster trade with the Dolphins with Tua. So I guess we'll just wait and see.
Right. Well, we'll see. Who knows what's going to happen? It's just like you don't know what's going to happen in college football. Who's going where? Who's going to get in trouble? Who's not going to get in trouble? But on this, going back to Tiger Woods, it says it's his 5th surgery to remove a pressurized disc fragment in his back, but they expect a full recovery. But
that's probably a minor procedure. They probably did that laparoscopically or something, and I'm sure that's not a big deal. But still, anytime they mess with your back, with all those nerves back there and all that, it's easy to screw that up. I don't know if he'll come back or not.
Mr. Will, what?
Who's going to win? 45 now.
He's 45.
He's 45. Will, who's going to win the 2 playoff games this weekend and go to the Super Bowl?
You're going to laugh. I think Tampa Bay is going to beat Green Bay.
I wouldn't be shocked. They got a really good defense.
And I think Buffalo will beat Kansas City and with or without Mahomes. I think Buffalo, I'm going to tell you something, Buffalo impresses me, and that quarterback for Buffalo, he's got an arm that just, it's really impressive. And that coach for Buffalo is a good coach, too.
Yeah, Josh Allen is the quarterback. He played at Wyoming in college. Offense coordinator for the Buffalo Bills is the former offense coordinator of Alabama, Brian Daboll. A lot of people think Daboll will get a head coaching job. He's done such a great job with the Bills. He was the Alabama coach when Tua hit Devontae Smith with a miracle touchdown in overtime against Georgia. So I wouldn't be.
Is Philadelphia hired a coach yet?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Well, in the Super Bowl, it's going to be either a 43-year-old Brady or a 38-year-old Rodgers for the National Football Conference against a 24 or 25-year-old Mahomes or what's the guy at Buffalo's name?
Josh Allen.
So it's going to be the young against the old in the Super Bowl. as far as quarterbacks go. And,
Brady played at Michigan. Rodgers played at Cal. Mahomes played at Texas Tech, and Josh Allen played at Wyoming. So it just proves you can play anywhere and make it to the NFL.
Well, on the leaderboard, on the draft board, is that kid that's at North Dakota State that has not. I don't even think they played a game this year. He's a sophomore, projected to go in the top 10. I can't call his name, but
his name's Trey Lance.
Big old kid. He's about 6'4" plus.
That's one thing I still don't know. I mean, they talk about spring football, for 1AA and Division II schools. I mean, when in the world is that going to start? In February, if they play?
I don't have any report on that.
I just know that they talk about playing. I mean, I don't know how you turn around and play in the spring. You play February through March, then you got to turn around and get these guys ready in August for another season. I feel like that'd be a lot of wear and tear on these kids.
Well, I believe Faulkner State's supposed to play in the spring. I'm not sure about Huntington, but all those schools are. Faulkner's supposed to play this spring. I don't know, maybe a modified schedule, and then count that kind of as a spring, whatever, and then start fall, hopefully brand new. But in high school sports, I know locally, Troy City schools, even though we're out for COVID till the 1st of February, they're still playing athletic events. Pike County schools are not. Pike Liberal Arts is still in school, and some kids can Zoom if they want to, but their sports activities are still going strong at this time, and but that is subject to change as far as local high school sports.
Okay, so I'm looking at Alabama State. That's a local program up in Montgomery. Alabama State will play a spring schedule. They'll start on February the 26th against Southern. Then they'll play March 6th, March 20th, March 27th, April 3rd, April 10th, April 17th, and then the last game is April 17th against Alabama A&M. And then they'll play a SWAC championship game on May the 1st. So they'll play until May the 1st and then have to turn around and start practicing again in August. That's unbelievable.
How many games is that, Michael? About 8? How many games is that, Michael? About 8 games?
I think you lost Michael again.
Well, his line is lit up.
I'm on. Do you hear me?
I can hear you now. Is that about an 8-game schedule?
Okay. Yeah, they got about 8-game schedule,
Okay.
but they're going to play till May the 1st, so I'm just shocked that they're going to play that late.
Well, who knows? And, the baseball season is around the corner for the collegiate level and high school, and so is softball. And right now, basketball season has some interruptions in high school and in college. Vanderbilt women are not going to play the rest of this year. The Duke women are not playing the rest of this year. I don't know what other programs have followed suit. But with this COVID and then this new strand of COVID, who knows what's going to take place today, much less tomorrow.
Will, did we talk to Will about the Tennessee situation? Who do you think Tennessee's going to hire, Will?
I think they're going to hire Bill O'Brien. I'm convinced. And I've got a friend of mine who's real tight with all of them up there. And I think the problem is Tennessee doesn't know what's going to happen to them. And it's going to be rough. And you're going to have a special kind of coach come in there, with facing probation and all that. And there's nobody had a worse hand dealt to him than Bill O'Brien when he went to Penn State for those 2 years.
And he was the coach of the year after that season. He finished 8-4 and was the recipient of the, I think, the Bear Bryant Award. But he's done it before, and they may, if give him an extended contract to get the train back on the tracks, so to speak, he could be the guy. Plus, that deal has not been finalized with the University of Alabama.
And I think that's the reason why he's waiting.
Yeah, that job would pay a lot of money. And of course, right now they're not having to pay Pruitt the $12 million they owe him. It's going to be interesting to see what happens Alabama could reach out to, Aldous, I guess they possibly could reach out to Pruitt. His defense coordinator job comes open. I don't know if Pruitt's going to have to sit out or what's going to happen as far as NCAA. But if he goes to Texas, like we mentioned yesterday, Saban and all the Alabama fan base will love to have Pruitt back as defense coordinator. He's a great defense coach.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a break here momentarily. Thank you for joining us on Today in L.A., and thank you for our sponsors, Wells Fargo, Little Caesars Pizza, and we'll be back in just a few minutes.
Troy Cable Security Wi-Fi doorbell camera allows you to answer the door from your smartphone when you are at home, at work, or on the go. When a visitor presses the button, Troy Cable Security sends a live video feed to your smartphone so you can see, hear, and speak to the person at your door. With the doorbell camera, you can have your porch light turn on automatically when it detects motion at night to create the appearance that someone is at home. You can view video clips so you can always know who stopped by when you are out. Troy Cable Security. You love them, protect them.
Have you seen an increase in your insurance premiums or significant change in your insurance coverage? Let Sandbeck Insurance offer you a better plan to suit your business or personal needs. Sandbeck Insurance offers many lines of insurance, whether it's home, farm, or auto insurance, work comp, business, or health and life policies. Sandbeck is here for you. Call or visit our Troy, Enterprise, or Andalusia office today. Sandbeck Insurance, where we take pride in taking care of your insurance needs.
At the Piggly Wiggly, we proudly support our local farmers and bring you the best they have to offer, all at cost plus 10%. When you shop local, you reinvest in your community. Remember, buy local, shop local. Piggly Wiggly, local since forever.
A personal touch, a high level of trust. Whether it's checking and savings accounts, personal or business loans, or our local friendly service. That's what Troy Bank and Trust customers expect. But now we offer more. Free identity theft protection for our new and existing customers, protecting your family's time, money, and good name from identity theft. Because protecting your identity is now a big part of our identity.
Troy Cable Security Wi-Fi doorbell camera allows you to answer the door from your smartphone when you are at home, at work, or on the go. When a visitor presses the button, Troy Cable Security sends a live video feed to your smartphone so you can see, hear, and speak to the person at your door. With the doorbell camera, you can have your porch light turn on automatically when it detects motion at night to create the appearance that someone is at home. You can view video clips so you can always know who stopped by when you are out. Troy Cable Security. You love them, protect them.
Well, I could just call through the computer, but it doesn't work anymore.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back live here on Today in L.A. On the phone with me, we have Michael Amos calling from Grayton Beach, Florida. And good news, his dad, Mike, is recovering good here in Troy, Alabama, resting real well. And thank you for joining us. And what else in the big news do you have for us, Michael?
Well, I live in Grayton Beach, Florida, and anybody that is 65 and older can register through Publix grocery store if they have a pharmacy. You got to go online to do it, but if you're 65 and older, they are giving the vaccine out. Of course, you got to go on and register and set up a time appointment to get the vaccine. That's good news for people down here in Florida.
Do you have to be a resident? Do you have to be a resident of Florida?
No, you don't have to be a resident. You can be, a snowbird or just anybody down here visiting. If you can set up an appointment, they'll get you in. Of course, there's millions of people trying to set up appointments. The state of Florida is 22 million people, and then you got snowbirds and other people from Alabama and all over the southeast that own, property down here in homes like my family does. So just letting everybody know that. Of course, the weather is absolutely beautiful. It's going to be 65 and sunny today, and I think the rest of the week's going to be 68, 69 and sunny. I think a couple days it might rain a little bit, but beautiful time to come to the beach in January right now.
I'll tell you what, it was beautiful yesterday. I was in the backyard most yesterday afternoon playing with some woodworking and building some birdhouses, and it was almost short sleeve weather. I know I was talking earlier that I believe Pike Liberal Arts has a home basketball game tonight versus Macon East, I believe. No, Fort Dale. And Charles Henderson played last night against Andalusia. I do not have their score. and I'm not sure. I think they play again next week. But the Troy women will play this Friday night. They will host Coastal Carolina Friday at 6 and Saturday at 4 o'clock. And the men will travel to Coastal Carolina to play Friday at 5 o'clock, Saturday at 2. The women are 7-4 overall, 3-1 in the conference. The men are 6-7 overall and 1-3 in the conference as well.
Coach Cross has got to get some players back. Apparently, they've got 5 or 6 players that are injured, and you can't win on the road if you don't have any depth. Troy's trying to win with 7 guys, and almost did it against Georgia Southern. They went to overtime one game, and then they lost by 7 on the second game. But I don't know how in the world you're getting this many guys injured. You got a week between each game. It's kind of strange. It's almost like your practices or something must be too intense. You're getting guys that hurt. Very strange basketball season. I mean, if you play in the Sun Belt, I mean, you got to be extremely upset about the way these schedules are. It's just so weird to go on the road and then you play a team
back to back
on a Friday, and then you got to play them again, the next day. I mean, I don't know what in the world. I mean, I guess it's a money issue more than anything, but the SEC's still playing a normal schedule.
Where will the conference championships be held for men and women in the Sun Belt? Do we know that?
Yeah, I think they're all being played in Pensacola.
In Pensacola, Florida. Well, I know the NCAA has the men are going to play in Indianapolis, and that schedule I think's kind of been tentatively set. And but tomorrow on our set, Michael, Matt Brown, the head basketball coach at Pike Liberal Arts in basketball, will be on the set tomorrow for 20 to 30 minutes to talk about his program and how his season is going and the possibility of playoffs and when they may take place. And then on Friday, we're going to have Diana Lee. Of course, she's with Troy Bank and Trust, but she's also a member of the Troy Pike County Habitat for Humanity program here that helps build houses for those in need. And there's an upcoming, the second annual Polar Bear Plunge that's coming soon. The Polar Bears are coming to Troy, and she's going to talk about that Friday morning for about a 20 or 30 minute segment here on Today in LA. So we're looking forward to those two guests coming up as upcoming
that's
guests.
Great. I've known Matt Brown for years. Of course, I know his dad, Bobby Brown, and Matt and Andrew Williams, good friends, Johnny Williams' son. So I've known him for a long time, and I think they've had a good basketball season. I know they got beat by Tuscaloosa Academy, but I think Tuscaloosa Academy is the best team in the state private school.
Well, they beat them real close up there in Tuscaloosa, and that was a non-region game. Well, the first game of the year, they win the state championship, and about 2 or 3 days later, they had the first basketball game. They lost in overtime to Macon East, I believe, by 2 or 3 points. The first game of the year. Then they've lost one other game, and it was a close game to Tuscaloosa Academy. So they've got a possibility to win that one, and we'll see about baseball. There's a lot of excitement about baseball at Pike Liberal Arts. And in the newspaper today, I have not had a chance to read it, but Chase Smart, that's some fantastic news for Charles Henderson to have Chase Smart to get that baseball program jump started. And he is, if there was a Hall of Fame for Charles Henderson High School baseball, his name would be in there. And he's got such a fabulous coaching family that he's from, his dad, his mom, his sister. And good luck to Chase, I think that's his middle name, by the way, Chase Smart for Charles Henderson baseball.
Yeah, I mean, Chase was one of the best high school players I'd ever seen. I mean, he was right up there with Brian Meadows. Brian, I think, is going to be his pitching coach, which is, what more can you say if you have Brian Meadows as a pitching coach, the greatest pitcher to ever come out of Troy, Alabama. Great friend of mine, and he'll help out tremendously. And, Chase is young and shoot, the Hickson kid at Pine Little Arts is
right.
I guess around 24, 25 as well. So
yeah, if you remember, we had them on the set 3 or 4 months ago when they got hired. They both came on the set. I think your dad was out of town that day, and I believe you called in and we talked to them, and so they're off to Pike County couldn't be any more happier to have those two young men leading Pike Liberal Arts and Charles Henson High School in baseball. And
yeah, of course, Pike Liberal Arts. I mean, I've never seen a team so loaded. I mean, you got the Nelson kid that's already committed to Auburn. You got the White kid. The coach's son that's already signed with Florida State. And then you've got the Stallworth kid, Brett Stallworth, Elizabeth Stallworth's son, that's already signed with, I think, Southern Union. I think they may have a couple more that have already committed or signed with some colleges. So they're just loaded.
Right. Well, maybe soon we can get, as we get near the first pitch, we can get Chase on one morning and then have Mr. Hickson come on. And is it Ross or Rush? What's his?
I think it's Rush.
Rush. Have him to come on to talk about their baseball programs and.
I mean, can you imagine Mark Smuts now? I mean, after Troy games and after practice, he's going to be running over to Frazier Field, Hogan Cole, to go watch his son coach. That's got to be pretty special.
Yeah, Debbie Smart's probably got a schedule right now of Troy University men's baseball, Troy University women's softball. When's Taylor going to coach? Charles Henson High School baseball. So she might as well get a new car so she can drive around all these different events. And I know she's tickled pink.
How does that work being a coach? I mean, you were the coach at the middle school for years. I mean, do you have to drive the bus as well?
I did earlier. And, the way I approach things when you want to do the best you can in physical education and you're the athletic director and you're the head football coach and you teach physical education all day, then you take a quick shower, you get on the bus, you drive to a place. That was a little much for me. And the day that I had to stop in Luverne, Alabama, going down to Lucia and get a Coca-Cola and something to keep me awake, that was the last time I drove a bus when I was coaching. I paid cash out of my pocket to have somebody else drive for me. It's very difficult for a head coach to be driving a bus for his event, in my opinion. But what they try to do is get a bus driver in an off sport to drive for that sport that he or she's not coaching. But the problem that a lot of school systems have, and I know Troy City does, is having qualified bus drivers. I mean, there's a shortage, or there was when I was still coaching. And but you think you got in the spring. Let's just take the spring for example. You've got basketball still finishing up. You've got soccer going on. You got baseball. You got softball. You got golf, tennis. That's track and field. I mean, that's a lot of going here and from to try to manage your transportation system. Just say Troy. There's no telling what Goshen and Pike County and all those schools have to go through. And
is it hard to drive on those big old buses? Those
no,
are huge.
No, that's not that difficult. I've driven a Howitzer, 8-inch Howitzer before. That was pretty neat through the woods. No, the biggest thing, of course, is safety. You're concerned about who's sitting in those seats. But when you got a long bus, when you make a turn, that tail is the biggest thing you've got to be concerned about, is the tail in making a turn. And that's the biggest thing that I have, or that I'll have to watch for when I drive a bus, and of course keep it between the white lines. But
Yeah, that is pretty scary. Driving back late from a game, and especially you had bad weather. I mean, I remember being on all those bus trips when I was a kid, and didn't really think much of it. They had the old I don't know what kind of covers those were on the seats, but I spent many a night with my head on the seat in front of me.
Oh yeah.
And I ended up going to sleep.
That's right.
I just remember those back in the day. But I always remember the coaches. One of the coaches will always drive that bus.
That's right. Well, that's the way it was, and that's still how it is in a lot of schools, especially small schools. But that's just part of it. And but most all our school systems do a good job with their transportation of athletes. That's just another big aspect of it. Not just that. Just think about the band has to go different places.
Oh, yeah.
You got field trips and all that kind of stuff. But
yeah, that's one thing at Charles Henderson. The band program. I think when I was in school, I mean, I'd say they marched close to 100, 150, and now Dad tells me they're like around 50 kids maybe in the band.
Right, and I don't know the dynamics of that, but I think a lot of Mr. Burkett that's out there at Charles Henderson High School, I don't know about the dynamics of why the numbers are down, and I know it's a challenge, and it may have to do with scheduling within the school hours and those kind of things. What kind of feeder program does the middle school have? What are they able to do? What's the elementary able to do? Because the 6th grade now is at the elementary school, and your band director at the middle school goes to the elementary school part of the time.
Oh, wow. I don't think I knew that. So 6th grade in Troy City Schools is at the elementary school.
Yes. Now,
okay.
On the outside looking in, you got K through 6, pre-K through 6th grade at the elementary school. That's about 1,000.
Okay.
That's about 1,000 kids.
How in the world do they keep those big 6th grade kids away from the kindergarten and the smaller kids?
Well,
they're in different buildings.
You see, the pre-K and kindergarten are at the Hank Jones School.
Okay.
In that building by itself, and then 1st grade through 6th grade are in that long, what I call it's like a pentagon, but it's not a pentagon.
Okay.
But you can stand in one place in the lunchroom and look down about, seems like 100 yards that way, and you turn around and look the other way 100 yards. But they're on different wings. The 6th grade is on this wing, then 5th and 4th, 3rd. Then it breaks to the lunchroom. Then you got 2nd grade, 1st. So they are separated, just like you can separate them at the middle school. Now, at those two campuses, what I call one big campus at the elementary school, there's about 1,000 kids. Well, at the middle school, you got just 7th and 8th grade. And that probably is between 260, somewhere around the 260 mark. And then the high school is probably 400 plus. Well,
So how does physical education work? I mean, I know you were involved in it for years. Do kids even have to dress out?
Well,
Do you go to PE anymore?
Well, at the middle school level, I'm not real sure what they're doing now, but I prefer 6th, 7th, and 8th grade together. When you throw the 6th graders at the elementary school, and that just made that school that much bigger. It made traffic that much more. But we have a fabulous, a good school system here in Troy, and in Pike County, all schools. And but
it's sad to say, but I live right next to the junior high school or the middle school, and I live right next to the high school, and not one day of my life did I ever walk to school. We still had carpools taking us, and Dad always gives me a hard time about that. But
you could
I literally could have walked. I literally could have walked through the woods.
You could have.
I didn't even do it.
You could have. And there I saw a report 2 or 3 or 4 months ago about the possibility of Troy City Schools having a bus system. Now, whether what that will enhance as far as monetary cost, I'm not sure. I know one thing on the agenda now for Troy City Schools is who will be the next head football coach. I don't know if he will be the athletic director and head football coach. I'm not sure. But, that's there's some rumors flying around of who may or may not be, but
yeah, whoever wants to campaign for that job and come talk about the Thompson job, you're more than welcome to come on the show. Of course, we know a lot of people that I know that are interested in the job, and I think there's some really great names that are very close, in the Troy community, and people that live in the Troy community that could, really be great coaches. So if anybody wants to come in and talk about it, let us know, because it's a huge hire, to say the least.
Right. I imagine
the athletic director, and you're the head coach, and you're trying to really rebuild a program that's really been down.
Well, that would be the thing. If I were a person that wanted that job, I would go directly to the principal, and I'd go directly to the superintendent. And when the timing is right, and I would promote my philosophy, and I would promote my character and my willingness to work from the ground up and promote unity and recruit within my walls of my school and be the role model to our kids. I mean, you got to talk athletics first, and then you got to talk. Well, if you're going to be a teacher, I think you need to talk what you're willing to do to be the best teacher you can be first. I'm going to be the best athletic director second. I want all sports to be equal. I want women and men to be on the same sheet of music. I want them, whatever coach, so if I'm going to be the head football coach, then football will take care of itself, and here's what we're going to do with football. But I want to be able to bring and incorporate my entire fellow teachers, administration at all three schools on the same sheet of music. We're in this together. We want to promote our kids as a student athlete that will be, when he graduates or she graduates, that she's going to be a asset to this community and to this state and to our nation, and go from there. And we've had it in the past, and Coach McCoy and all our coaches that we've had, I feel like have tried that. But it's Charles Henderson is the ship has got to get back in the right body of water, so to speak. And the dynamics of what's going on with COVID, that's another aspect of what you can and what you can't do. Safety first. You got to make sure your facilities are clean and all that. Good morning. You're on Today in L.A. Did I lose you? Is this Michael?
Yeah,
okay.
I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's my horrible cell service here in Great Beach. I don't know.
Well, I went on to a dissertation. I was talking about what the next head coach at Charles Henderson would face and how I would promote myself, but I won't repeat that again. But good luck to whoever gets it. And
the biggest thing about it is you got to build a feeder program. You got to get these kids to buy into what you believe, and that's always important. And what I've always heard about Charles Henderson is that the athletes are there. You got the players. You just got to be able to coach them, and discipline is key. I've heard over the last several years when I would hear about Charles Henderson games, all the personal fouls.
Yes.
And all the issues that, that's discipline. That's guys, being team players. And when you do stuff like that, that's only going to hurt you, and that's only going to hurt the team. So you got to get stuff like that taken care of as well.
That's correct. But I'm anxious to see when that hire will take place. I know that it probably, I think it's a 30-day waiting period. I'm not real sure how the state laws are in Alabama when you're trying to hire somebody. I'm sure there's been a plethora of candidates to apply for the job. I haven't looked for the posting, but I'm sure it's posted, and they'll interview the top candidates and then make a choice from there. And it's going to be interesting. And you would want that person to come in pretty quick to get things established, you know, as far as what the standards will be, weight room, and start some kind of schedule to get everybody on the same sheet of music as far as it relates to football and athletics. And
I mean, Charles Citizen will stay 5A. They're not going to go back down to 4A.
well, they got to be 5A one more year. And, you know, just like Goshen's 3A, Pike County's 3A, it's a 2-year classification. So after this year.
So even if Charles Citizen might only have the numbers to be a 4A school, they'll still have to stay 5A?
Yes. I mean, how that works is a year ago when they determined what classification, you got to be in that classification for 2 years. So at the end of this next athletic season, somewhere right at the end, they'll start looking at your enrollment numbers, and then they will place you in 7A, 6A, 5A, 4A, 3A, 2A, 1A. Now, if your program is very successful, I'll take this as an example, like Bayside Academy in volleyball has won like 18 straight state championships. They do not compete at the level that they normally would. They bump them up based upon the number of state championships that they've won. And those are rare cases in the state of Alabama. But my guess, I think on paper, Charles Citizen is probably one of the lowest enrollment has one of the lowest enrollment rates in 5A. In other words, they're almost 4A. So it may be where they would drop down to 4A. Well, like Goshen is probably the school in Pike County that has been hurt the most. Well, they're barely 3A. Well, when they got that reclassification, COVID hit. Some of the players opted not to play. Some of the players transferred schools. So technically Goshen is in the middle of the pack in 2A, but yet they're reclassified as 3A, and they got to stay 3A again next year. And in their region, I don't have it in front of me, but you got Montgomery Academy, you got Catholic, Pike County, Goshen. I mean, you're in a tough 3A classification, and the state champion came out of, I think Trinity. Trinity's in that classification too. So I believe did Catholic win it all? I think they beat Montgomery Academy to go to the state finals.
Catholic got beat by Piedmont.
Okay, was it it's Montgomery Academy, I believe, that won it all? Or anyhow, all those are in the same region.
Catholic beat Montgomery Academy in the playoffs. And Catholic played for the state championship against Piedmont.
And got beat. Okay.
Montgomery Academy was undefeated though until Catholic beat them.
Right. Yeah. And I'm not sure how many seniors. It's going to be interesting to see. You know, football's big.
The biggest thing, you got to get kids to come out and play. You know, hopefully COVID won't be the issue this coming fall. Hopefully there'll be a vaccine. Well, we know there's a vaccine, but hopefully the kids, everybody will have a vaccine by then, and you won't run into as many issues as far as turnout of players. And of course, you know, once you get those guys out there, it's up to you to coach them and you know, build a team. So it's going to be a struggle whoever gets the head job. I mean, it's not going to be 1 year out, next year you're just going to be dominating and winning several games. I think it's going to take a little while.
Right. Well, our superintendents here that we have, Cynthia Thomas for Troy City Schools and Dr. Mark Bazell, you know, when they look at things in a perspective of health and safety, they're making the decisions and their staff as to what is in the best interest of the students and their teachers and their staff. And whatever decisions they make, I'm not going to really second question them, or they have a difficult decision to make based upon the safety and welfare of their kids as it relates to the academic side of the house and the athletic side of the house and other extracurricular activities, because academics comes first and then athletics and extracurricular activities second. So it is a challenge for them, and I think it's a greater challenge for Pike County schools because his students are all over the county. Troy City was in a little pocket, so to speak. So it's, in some rural counties, some counties are not playing athletics at all this year.
Yeah.
None. And as you'll see too, in some of those pockets, those kids who are able to are transferring to another school so they can go to school or play athletics. And that's just how it works. And who knows what tomorrow will bring as far as COVID and all others.
We gotta hope that things are going to be better now with the vaccine, and hopefully we'll see a totally different football season next year. I hope we'll see big crowds going to games again, and no cancellation, no postponements. Hopefully things will be back to normal, but you got to get through these basketball seasons, and baseball and softball I feel a lot better about it now. I feel like anything you're playing outside, I feel like it's a lot safer environment, and you got to feel better about it. But anything inside, like a gym, these small little hospital gyms, I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't be going into a gym and watching a game right now. I couldn't do it.
Well, I believe there is a wrestling match today at Charles Henson High School. So there's another sport where you're hands-on. But with basketball season, when you have 2 games a week, maybe sometimes 3, but usually 2. So if there's a COVID issue, that's going to knock out 2 weeks of ball. So, for example, Pike County schools, when they start going back to school, or the 1st of February, tentatively, well, basketball season is almost getting ready for the playoffs. So I'm sure all those teams here, when the region playoffs begin, will be in the region playoffs, and then next thing you know, you'll be in the state before you know it, because the state playoffs, I believe, start sometime mid-February, or the playoffs do. So, that part is coming around the corner. And I know baseball and softball season will start throwing out the first pitch in February. So,
of course, sorry for all the phone difficulties today. I think had Max Hall phone in, but didn't work out. Got Will Matthews calling in, so we got to talk to him. Of course, we got to talk to Mike Amos, so that's a big deal. Dad sounded good this morning. I want to thank all our sponsors out there. Sisters Restaurant, go see Pat Geraldine. I want to say hello to Napa again. Thanks to Mike Hillcrease the other day, helped me out when I had my little fender bender driving Troy a couple mornings ago, and want everybody to go out to see Jason at Premier Dodge Chrysler Jeep. They got a lot of sales going on, a lot of deals going on. I want to thank all our sponsors as always. Forrest, I'll let you wrap it up.
Okay. Well, yeah, I saw Cinco Drugs flash before us. What I like to do to go to Cinco's every now and then, and I'll get a 8-ounce bottle of Coca-Cola. They have 8-ounce Coca-Colas and Sprites and Diet Cokes and I think Dr. Peppers. But anyway, I love going to Cinco's from time to time and sipping on one of those Coca-Colas. And again, on tomorrow's show, we're hoping to have Matt Brown, the head basketball coach at Pike Liberal Arts. On Friday, we'll have Miss Diana Lee with Troy Pike Habitat for Humanity and their upcoming Polar Bear Plunge that will be held at the Troy Rec Department the last Saturday of this month at 9 o'clock. I dove in last year. I hope to dive in again this year. And again, thank you for all our sponsors. Thank you for tuning in here on Today in L.A. with Mike Amos and his son Michael that calls in from Grayton Beach. Thank you, Bill Rice, for calling in, Max Howell, and for Will Matthews. And again, our prayers go out to the community and those in need. And thank you for joining us on Today in L.A., and we'll be back in the morning.
Hi, Sandy. I'm right here. Come on in.
Daddy, I'm right here. Hello, Miss Mary. I'm right here.